this passage about the physical body, I find it so enlightening and gives such a broader picture what our physical body actually is and what it's meant for. Because often we wrongly identify ourselves with the physical body and limit our experience on planet Earth because we are wrongly identified with what is not really the reality, the purpose and the plan of our existence here. And to shed more light into the physical body, its purpose, and that's why we want to read on page 383 ponder on this about the physical body, which is a very enlightening passage. Each human life period seeks a man making a more evolved physical body of greater responsiveness turned to a hierarchy of more adequate refinement and vibrating to a different measure. So each time we incarnate, it's the goal to have a more evolved physical body, to have greater awareness and responsiveness of our environment to a higher degree of vibrations. Because as we know, all is energy and it vibrates at certain wavelengths. And we can register the lower or also the higher spiritual frequencies. We have seen how the aim of each life should be affecting and the carrying out of the definite purpose. This purpose is the development of a more adequate form for the use of the spirit. And where this purpose is achieved, then the indweller turns his attention away and the form disintegrates, having served his need. So our goal is to make our equipment, this physical body, more attuned to higher frequencies, finer, and refine its qualities. And the next point is really important. Man is essentially mental man and astral man. Then the two take to themselves an etheric shed for purposes of objective work. That is the true lower man. These two in the etheric body, but later, in order to know even on the lowest plane of all, man takes to himself a coat of skin, as the Bible expresses it, and puts on over his etheric body that outer illusionary form we know so well. It is the lowest point of objectivity in his direct imprisoning. That is so crucial. So man is essentially mental and astral, and he takes himself for the object of carrying out some work here, a physical and etheric body which produces the physical body. That's how we appear, and is our great illusion of thinking we are that physical body only, which is cause of direct imprisoning of ourself. On this, and then he states it's important to care for the physical body, to treat it well, because where the physical body is in poor condition, the disciple has to add the liabilities incident upon bringing into of force which he finds himself unable to handle. Our physical body is our needs to be strong so the force and energy can flow through us. There is a tendency among students to identify the centers with the physical body in their thinking and not so clearly with the etheric body. Centers, I believe that means the chakras centers. They need to be connected with the etheric body. This concerned location and in the majority of cases and is a mistake. Aspirants would do well to avoid any concentration all upon the physical body and learn to gradually shift their focus of attention into the etheric body. Necessarily the physical body is active and potent, but increasingly it should be regarded as an automation influenced and directed by first the vital body and the forces of Maya, or by inspiration emanating from points of spiritual tension. Second, the astral vehicle and the forces of glamour or sentiment, conscious love emanating from the soul, the mind, the forces of illusion or by illumination coming from the higher sources than the life in the three worlds. The soul as the vehicle of monadic expression until such time as the antakarana is built. That bridge is mental material which will eventually link the monad and the personality. So what we have to digest here is to not think of the energy centers in terms of the physical body. They are connected with the etheric body which is all around us. And that etheric body has influence of different forces. The influence of lower nature forces, which is Maya, glamour and illusion. That's basically what you see in today's world sometimes. The fear, the illusion, wrong perception, or it's also subject to higher forces, which is inspiration, conscious love and illumination. So at all time our physical body is subject to forces, and it depends if they are from a lower degree or a higher degree, and it needs to build our awareness to also recognize once we are pulled in something of a lower degree, so we can shift out of that. It is frequently overlooked by the causal student that both the astral and the mental bodies are material, and just as material in their own way as the dense physical. So, and then it's mentioned training of the physical body and involves certain things like pure food, cleanness, sleep, sunshine. So the physical body is actually the response apparatus of the indwelling spiritual man and serves to put that spiritual entity and report with the response apparatus to planetary logos, the life in which we live and move and have our being. So it's an apparatus to what comes through us. To sum up, the physical body is not a principle, it's not a main object of attention of the aspirant. It automatically responds to the slowly unfolding consciousness in all kingdoms of nature. It constantly remains that which is worked upon, and not that which which is an innate influence of its own. It's not important in the active process, for it is a recipient and not that which initiates activity. That's so important. Do you see your physical body as the initiator of activity? Because it's actually a recipient of the forces, and then it produces an activity through the forces and to the energy centers. That which is important is the unfolding consciousness, the response of the indwelling spiritual man to life, circumstances, events, and environment. The physical body responds. When the physical body becomes in error, the object of attention, retrogression, is indirected. And this is why all profound attention to the physical discipline, to vegetarianism, to diet and to fasting, and to the present modes of so-called mental and divine healing are undesirable and not in line with the projected plan. Therefore, undue consideration and excessive emphasis upon the physical body is reactionary and is like worship of the golden calf by the children of Israel. It is reversion to that which at one time was of importance, but today should be regarded to a minor position and below the threshold of consciousness. One of the problems which all sincere disciples have to solve is to learn to live as if the physical body did not exist. By that I mean that its limitation of the hindrance which it imposes upon the expression of free spiritual consciousness are neglected by an inner attitude of mind. Pay not undue attention to the physical body. Its preservation is of no moment and can, in your case, become too prominent importance. The time of your liberation is set by karmic law. This ever determines the demise of the real man within the body. But if the physical body is unduly nurtured, and if it becomes the recipient of undue care, it can hold that real man in prison in defiance to karmic law. That is a sorry spectacle to watch, for it means the physical elemental is assuming power. Wow. So we need to take care of our physical body, but still have an attitude of not being entangled and in the physical body. See ourselves more as with the forces of that etheric body, which different influences that can be of higher or lower degree come our way, and we must live as if we would not be the body and rise our consciousness above and see what influences the physical body have. But no, we are the indwelling spirit in the body. So there is a lot to reflect and ponder on, to really go deeper into that subject of the illusionary physical body, which we know so well, but what is actually below that? Is it just a recipient of force and it's acting just because of that energy flowing through us? That's, my friends, I would like you to study and investigate for yourself.